Hi guys, I am doing another tips and tricks, and I have got Danny here. And this one is more for storing babies for the summer, like how teachers store them. But this also works if you're moving and need to put your babies in storage, or need to put your babies in storage for whatever reason. Or, sometimes things come up in life and you just need to temporarily store your babies. So these are 5 steps for preparing RealCare baby for summer break. So step 1, take a complete inventory. Now, if you have your own personal babies, this is obviously going to be a little bit easier. But as you can see in the background, I have all my RealCare boxes. I actually have them stored in the closet that I am filming. I have them stored in my house because I do not want them in my garage or in my attic where their heat can get to them. At least in the house, in the closet, there's some sort of airflow and a little more temperature friendly. But I keep them stored in here, and each of these boxes belongs to one of my babies. And how I store their items aside from their diapers, or in the case of the RealCare 3s, which they have their clothing items, I have everything stored in these boxes. So each baby has an extra ID, has their individual charger if they're a 2 or a 2 plus. And then like the 2 and the 2 pluses all have their original outfits, so do my neonates, but they're all in these boxes, things that I do not normally use for the babies. So personally, I like to keep everything together. The only things that I have out are the outfits for the RealCare 3s. Each baby has their own one ID, the other ID is in the box. I have my 5-port charger on my changing table, so all of the individual chargers are in their boxes, so I keep them all together. So this is for RealCare 3s. So gather up your babies, accessories, supplies, and take a quick inventory of what you have. Each baby should have 2 diapers, 1 green, 1 yellow, a bottle or breastfeeding device, a student ID with a wristband, and then these are for the RealCare 3, an infant bodysuit, sleepwear, or sleepwear, as you should, when you store them, you should have their 2-piece outfit on them, and then a single charger or a 5 baby charger. So as I've said, these boxes all have a single ID in them, a single baby charger, and then if it's a RealCare 2 plus or a RealCare 2's box, it's got its 2-piece outfit in it. Identify any resources that you need to order, like wristbands, to have on hand for when school starts. So once again, the wristbands and stuff don't mean much for us collectors, but if you run a program, they are very handy to keep on hand. Step 2, place a resupply order, and then it gives you information on that. Especially with us not being able to buy directly from RealityWorks, eBay is your best source if you're missing anything from your babies. When I have had to store these, like when we moved from North Dakota to Texas, I had each baby in their box with all of their stuff. So I did go through and take an inventory. Obviously, I didn't move down here with all these babies. I only had 4. I think I had like 6 when I moved down here. 7. I had 7 when we moved down here. And I had each baby in their box with all their stuff that goes with them. Anytime I have to store them, they go into their box. And each of their boxes has what is in the box. So it'll say white girl 2 or Asian girl 3 or Asian girl G4, or Japanese girl 3, or African American or African light boy 2+. So I have what race, what sex, and what generation it is on their boxes. So even when I have them stored, I know which box is whose, and if I need to get something from that specific box, I know which box to go to. And then when they need to get stored, I know who is in each box. Step 3, wash all the clothing and make sure the baby, or clean the babies for store before they go into storage. That way, you know, when you take them out, everything's ready to go. So, for cleaning babies, refer to my video on suggested ways to clean the babies. For the clothing and the diapers, they can be machine washed on cold on the gentle cycle, tumble dried on low, or line dried. So, they did make everything user-friendly when it came to at least cleaning the clothing and the diapers. The babies, it takes a little bit more, but with the electronics, obviously that's explanatory. This is a big one, battery maintenance. Babies should be charged overnight, then unplugged. Do not leave babies plugged in all summer. Ideally, your baby should be charged for a few hours every 3 months. Haven't used the baby since January or February? Now is the time to charge them. So, FYI, the batteries will gradually drain out on their own. Do not be surprised if the baby starts to make a popping sound while in storage. This is an indicator that the battery is giving off the final amount of charge. Do not worry, this is normal and the popping sound can last a few days. I know Crystal touched on this with the doll that she had previously. Whenever she knew the batteries were getting low, it would start making noises and she'd have to start charging it up again. And also, you can follow the RealCare baby instructions on batteries. I'll probably be doing another separate video on just the batteries because there's a lot to go over with those batteries, more than you would think. And then step 5, storing the baby. The baby should be stored indoors in a plastic bag for optimal conditions. If this isn't possible, every attempt should be made to keep baby dry and clean. Notice dramatic changes in temperatures can cause water condensation inside the baby. Allow time for condensation to evaporate before using it. I know that they recommend wrapping them in plastic. I personally, like I said, I don't put them in plastic when I put them in these boxes. Honestly, what I do is I have a tote. I get some bigger totes that I can fit quite a few of these babies in. I have one tote that I can fit, I believe, 4 boxes in. And I put the babies each in their box, secured in their box with their items, and then I put them in this tote to carry them. The tote keeps it so that the babies won't get wet. I think that fits 4. I'm trying to remember. I know it fits at least 3. I think possibly 4 in it. But yeah, I personally like the totes with them because, like, when I need to pack these up when we need to move again, obviously when we move the babies, I will keep a few out, but I don't need all of them out. I will pack a few up. Like I said, I'll put them in their box with all their items so I know where they're at, and then I will put them in a tote so I know they're all together, and then they will stay within the house. So those are the tips and tricks on proper ways to store your baby for a long period of time. Whether you need to store them to move, you need to store them for personal reasons, or you need to store them because you're a teacher and it's summer break. So I hope you found these tips and tricks helpful, and I will see you all next time. Bye!